The Houston Rockets select Michael Jordan.
Yeah, that's not what happened, but it could have. On draft night, the Blazers offered Houston the number 2 pick and Clyde Drexler for Ralph Sampson, but the Rockets said no, wanting to build the Twin Towers with Ralph Sampson and Hakeem Olajuwon. But if they said yes, you get Hakeem, you get Clyde, and you get Michael Jordan. 3 future Hall of Famers together from day one, and a chance to build the greatest dynasty the league's ever seen. MJ won 6 rings with Pippen, but what if he had Hakeem and Clyde Drexler from the very beginning? Not just chasing greatness, but chasing Bill Russell's 11. Could anyone have stopped them? Magic and Kareem, the Bad Boys, Shaq, Penny, Barkley, or maybe someone you'd never expect. The dynasty that should have been. Let's jump into the Jordan Olajuwon era and see how it all could have played out. With the first 2 picks in the draft, who just so happened to be the 2 best players of the next decade, the Rockets' goal is clear: win a ring right away. But there's a problem. MJ and Clyde have pretty similar playstyles, so they're not the best fit together. Still, they're gonna try and figure it out. MJ ends up playing point guard instead of his usual shooting guard role, and even out of position, he dominates, putting up 21 points, 4 rebounds, and 7 assists a night in his rookie year. Of course, his scoring dips a bit since he's sharing the floor with Hakeem and Clyde, and as the point guard, he's focused on getting them involved as well. Despite all that, the Rockets win 53 games and snag the 2nd seed. Meanwhile, Ralph Sampson, the player Houston traded away, helps the Blazers win 4 more games, and the Bulls suffer, losing 12 more games without MJ. In the first round, the Rockets face the Spurs. It goes the distance, but Houston pulls it out in Game 5 over the Iceman George Gervin. Round 2 is a tougher test. They face the Nuggets, but their inexperience shows. Alex English drops 30 a night and overwhelms the Rockets, who lose Game 7 at home. Still, it's a solid rookie season for the Rockets' new core. With the 2 best rookies since Magic and Bird, the Rockets enter the next season with huge expectations. Anything less than a Western Conference Finals appearance would be a major disappointment. But the season starts out rough. Just 3 games in, MJ suffers a serious injury and doesn't return until the final month of action. Without MJ, Hakeem and Clyde step up, especially Hakeem, who puts up 25 and 12 to keep the ship steady. Meanwhile, the Blazers win 4 more games with Sampson, and the Bulls lose 9 more without MJ. Despite missing most of the season, the Rockets still secure the 2nd seed with 48 wins, right on track to reach the Western Conference Finals. In round 1, they take out the Kings in 4 games without breaking a sweat. Then they manhandle the Jazz in 5 to complete their goal of making the Western Conference Finals. Now it's time to take down Magic and the Showtime Lakers, but that's easier said than done. Unlike real life, where the Twin Towers made it tough for the Lakers to score inside, this time it's just Hakeem holding down the fort. The Lakers dominate, running the young Rockets off the court in a tough 6-game series. Those Lakers would go on to fall to the Celtics in 6, but the Rockets, they're pissed, especially MJ. They'll be back next year, ready to dethrone the Lakers. In year 3, the goal was crystal clear. Not just to dethrone the Lakers, but to win the whole thing. And this time, it actually looks likely. With everyone healthy, the Rockets win 59 games, locking in the 2nd seed behind MJ's monster season. 30 points, 8 assists, and he even takes home the Most Improved Player award. Meanwhile, in Portland, the regret is setting in. Clyde's been a great 3rd option, while Sampson starts dealing with injuries. And in Chicago, the Bulls are in shambles. They lose 27 more games without MJ. But MJ's got everything now. He sweeps the Sonics in round 1, Gentleman sweeps the Mavericks in round 2, and now it's the rematch that we've all been waiting for. Houston vs LA, MJ vs the MVP Magic Johnson, in the future vs the present. Both teams go at each other, back and forth, blow for blow. The young Rockets want the crown, but the Lakers aren't giving it up that easily. After 6 games, it's all tied, and in Game 7, it's neck and neck all night until the final 40 seconds. Magic Johnson hits a skyhook to push the lead to 4, and the Lakers hold on. The Rockets fall short once again, back-to-back heartbreaks, and MJ, of course he takes that personally. With MJ running point, it starts to become clear. It's taking away from the best part of his game, scoring. And with Clyde on the floor, who has nearly an identical playstyle, the 2 start stepping on each other's toes. There's no beef, but it's obvious who the better player is. So the Rockets make a tough call. They explore the idea of trading Clyde, not out of disrespect, but to unlock MJ's full potential. Sometimes, addition comes by subtraction. And on draft night, they find their deal. Clyde Drexler for the 5th pick and Nate McMillan. And that 5th pick, Scottie Pippen, he steps in as the perfect 3rd option. Less ball dominant and an elite defender. And exactly the kind of piece that lets MJ shine. And McMillan is a pass-first lockdown point guard who fits like a glove next to MJ and Hakeem. Now the stage is set, and next season might just be the one they get over the hump. After trading away Clyde Drexler, the pressure is sky high. If the Rockets don't beat the Lakers this year, the backlash will be brutal. But as you might have guessed, losing Clyde lets MJ explode. With full control of the offense and back at shooting guard, he puts up a ridiculous 34.5 points a night, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists per game. He wins his first MVP, and the Rockets finish with 68 wins, tied for the 2nd best record of all time at that point. And it's not just Houston who benefits from the trade. Clyde thrives as the number 1 guy in Seattle, and the Sonics win 9 more games themselves. But now it's championship or bust for Houston. In round 1, they crush the Spurs in a sweep. Then in poetic fashion, they meet Clyde and the Sonics in round 2. And in game 1, Clyde comes in, locked in. He outduels MJ and takes the first game, but MJ takes that personally. He responds back by winning 4 of the next 5 games, sending the Sonics home in 6. Now for the 3rd straight year, they face the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. But as that saying goes, 3rd time's the charm. MJ cooks magic, Hakeem dominates Kareem, and the Rockets take down the defending Lakers in just 5 games. Finally, after 4 long years, Houston reaches the NBA Finals, and their opponent, the bad boy Pistons. Detroit introduces a new defensive game plan, the Jordan rules. Hammer MJ every time he touches the ball, and to some degree, it works. But Hakeem, they've got no answer for. He absolutely torches Bill Embiid, averaging 28 points, 12.5 rebounds, and 2 blocks, and he carries the Rockets to the finish line. The Rockets win the finals in 6 games, and Hakeem takes home the finals MVP, and the Jordan Olajuwon Pippen era has officially begun. Now in year 5, Scottie Pippen takes a big sophomore leap, and suddenly the Rockets feel untouchable. That gap between them and the rest of the league is getting wider. They win 66 games with MJ putting up 32 points a night, and the playoffs, basically a repeat of last year. This time in the Western Conference Finals, not only do they defeat the Lakers once again, but they send Kareem Abdul-Jabbar into retirement. Then in the finals, it's another rematch, and just like last year, Detroit slows down MJ a touch, but Hakeem dominates, and once again, the Rockets win in 6, led by the finals MVP, Hakeem Olajuwon. In year 6, the 89-90 season, the Rockets weren't just chasing a three-peat. They built the greatest team the league had ever seen. With MJ, Hakeem and Pippen all making all-defensive first team, and Hakeem winning Defensive Player of the Year, their defense was historic, averaging 10 steals and 6 blocks a night. They won a record-breaking 74 games, then became the first team ever to sweep the playoffs, going 15-0 through the Lakers and Pistons. And for the first time, MJ took home the finals MVP, finally overcoming the Jordan rules. And at this point, it didn't look like anyone could stop them from winning not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7 straight rings. With a three-peat secured and a dynasty in full swing, the league was desperate for anyone to stop the Rockets. The Lakers nearly put off a blockbuster trade, trying to pair Charles Barkley with Magic Johnson, but the deal fell through, a massive break for Houston. Still, a real threat emerged, the 65-win Seattle Supersonics, led by Clyde Drexler and sophomore Shawn Kemp. They didn't have Gary Payton as he was drafted by the Hawks, but they still took out the Lakers en route to the Western Conference Finals against the 68-win Rockets. Houston had swept their last 6 playoff series, dominance unlike anything the league had ever seen, and another sweep was not off the table, but Drexler knew Hakeem and MJ well, and to everyone's surprise, Seattle held their own, splitting the first 4 games. In games 5 and 6 though, MJ and Hakeem flipped the switch, blowing the Sonics out and punching their ticket to a 4th straight finals. Their opponent, not the Pistons. After 3 straight final losses, Detroit was too demoralized to make it back. Instead, it was Larry Bird on his last legs, leading the Celtics for one final run. Bird turned back the clock for a gritty Game 3 win, but it wasn't enough. The Rockets closed it out in 5, a gentleman's sweep as they claimed their 4th straight title. Last season began with rumors of Charles Barkley heading to the Lakers, and this season starts with the bombshell. Magic Johnson announces retirement due to HIV. With the Lakers now out of the picture, the Rockets have only one real obstacle left in the West, the Seattle Supersonics. But do we really believe they're the team to dethrone Houston? Michael Jordan and the Rockets clearly don't think so. Houston storms to 70 wins, becoming the first team to do that twice. Seattle isn't far behind, with 62 wins, proving they're a legitimate threat, on paper at least. But to the Rockets' disappointment, who were hoping for some real competition, the Sonics fall short once again, this time losing to the Jazz in the Western Conference semifinals. Houston would go on to dispatch that Jazz team in just 5 games. That leaves only one team in the way of their 5th straight title, the New York Knicks. And to the surprise of absolutely nobody, the Rockets take care of business in 5 games. Hakeem Olajuwon dominates Patrick Ewing on both ends, shutting him down and securing his 3rd finals MVP. 5 straight titles for the Houston Rockets, a dynasty with no signs of slowing down. Next year is basically a repeat. The Rockets go even better, winning 71 games instead of 70. But this time, they actually challenge in the Western Conference Finals, needing 6 games to take down Barkley's Suns. In the finals though, it's a rematch versus the Knicks, and they win in 5 again. But MJ wins finals MVP this time, and ties Hakeem in the finals MVP race at 3-3. 6 straight titles for the Rockets with no clear end in sight. After 6 straight championships, the Rockets are clearly tied. It shows. They only win a league best 66 games, with the Sonics right behind them at 63. Many experts think this could be the year they finally dethroned. The team is dealing with nagging injuries, and all those extra playoff months are starting to pile up. The first 2 rounds though are business as usual. Denver goes down in 3 and San Antonio goes down in 5, but the Sonics give them hell in the conference finals. Houston barely escapes with a Game 6 win at home, and for the first time in years, they're starting to look vulnerable. Going for 7 straight won't be easy, especially not against Gary Payton and Dominique Wilkins. Wilkins, now 34, is in his first ever finals, and he doesn't flinch. He shows up big time, and with after glove slowing down MJ better than anyone ever has, the series is tied 2-2. But in games 5 and 6, it's Pippen and Olajuwon who take over. That firepower is just too much. The Rockets win their 7th straight title. Still champions, but they're looking more beatable by the year. They dropped 6 playoff games this time. The gap is closing. Obviously, there's been some draft shakeups. Gary Payton ended up in Atlanta. This year, Grant Hill lands in Portland, finally giving them a start after trading Clyde Drexler. Alonzo Mourning went to Sacramento, and in the 93 draft class, Chris Webber heads to Detroit, while Penny Hardaway also joins Sacramento. With all the talk about the Rockets dynasty nearing its end, MJ and the squad takes it personally. They respond the only way they know how, by dominating. Houston wins 70 games for the 4th time and storms through the playoffs, dropping just 1 game on the road to the finals. There, it's another familiar face, the Knicks. And just like before, the Rockets handle business in 5 games. 8 straight titles. MJ and the Rockets tie Bill Russell's record for the most consecutive championships. The dynasty's still alive and as dangerous as ever. Now we're in the 1995-96 season. There's one man out there looking for a new team, and one rising squad in the West that might be one piece away from ending the greatest dynasty in NBA history. If they land him, the Rockets could finally be in real danger. Meanwhile in Houston, the wear and tear is setting in. They win just 65 games, still tops the league, but only 1 game ahead of a surging team right behind them with 64. For the first time in nearly a decade, the Rockets are about to face a real challenge. MJ keeps doing MJ things, averaging 30 for the 9th straight season. In the playoffs, they sweep their 10th straight round 1, taking out Phoenix. In round 2, Utah pushes them to 6. Then comes the matchup we've been waiting for. Rockets versus the Kings. Sacramento is led by rising star Penny Hardaway, all-star scorer Mitch Richmond, and the always dangerous Alonzo Mourning. But what no one was ready for is their secret weapon, Dennis Rodman. The series starts with Houston defending their home court. They go up 2-0. And to everyone's surprise, the Kings do as well. They go up 3-2. And for the first time in 9 seasons, the Rockets trail a series after 5 games. Game 6 in Houston, MJ drops 43, and the Rockets blow them out, and we're going to a Game 7. And here's the thing, so far, Houston's done everything except win a Game 7. They lost one in MJ's rookie year in the 2nd round against Denver, and in their 3rd season together, they lost to the Showtime Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. So now they try and do what they've never done before, win a Game 7. This Game 7 battle is legendary. Rodman and Zoe bang with Hakeem, Richmond and Penny go bucket for bucket with MJ, and after 3 quarters, it's dead even. But in the 4th, the Kings take over. Richmond drops 10 with 2 threes, Penny nails his signature fadeaways, and the difference maker, Dennis Rodman. He owns the glass, getting 25 rebounds. The Rockets fall. For the first time in the dynasty, they've been beat. No 9-peat, no Bill Russell record. The world is stunned, and the Kings, they ride that momentum to the finals and take down the Hawks in 6. MJ and Hakeem are livid after losing their shot at history. The chance to break Bill Russell's record, gone. So now what do? They bounce back with a 73-win season, making it clear they're on a mission. No more coasting, no more mercy. They run through the West, taking out the Lakers and a young Shaq in the 2nd round like it's nothing. Then comes the rematch, Houston vs Sacramento, the team that ended their 8-year reign. This time though, there's no drama, no Game 7. The Rockets handled the Kings in 5, getting their revenge and slamming the door shut on any talk of a new dynasty. And in the finals, they meet the Hawks again. And once more, it's business as usual. Rockets in 5, they get their crown back. They win their 9th ring. MJ gets his 5th finals MVP, overtaking Hakeem. They may have lost their streak of 8 straight championships, but they're already starting a new one. It's the 1997-98 season, and for the first time, the cracks are starting to show. Scottie Pippen is clearly slowing down with injuries. Hakeem dropped 7 points per game from last season, and for the first time since 1987, the Rockets don't get the number 1 seed. They fall to the 3rd in the West with just 59 wins. It looks like the dynasty might finally be unraveling. But then again, MJ is still MJ. He averages 29 a game, keeping the team afloat. In round 1, for the first time in forever, they don't sweep the first round. They take out the Suns in 4. Not a sweep, but still dominant. Round 2 is a battle with the 61-win Lakers. A young Shaq and Kobe put up a fight, but they're just not ready. The Rockets close it out in 6 on the road. They're once again matched up against Utah in the conference finals, a 62-win team, and it's a brutal series. But Houston grinds it out and wins in 6 once again. Now, a new finals opponent, the Indiana Pacers, but they're simply outclassed. MJ and the Rockets sweep them with ease. They win their 10th ring, with MJ getting his 6th finals MVP. And now they're just 1 title away from tying Bill Russell's all-time record of 11 rings. The end may be near, but they're not done just yet. The 1998-99 season was that infamous lockout year, a shortened season with a packed schedule and just too many games games in too little time. It hit the old Rockets hard. Pippen's contract finally ended and he was ready to leave. But with the team sitting on 10 rings, just one away from tying Bill Russell, he agreed to stay, to give it one more shot. But the grind just wore them down. They only managed to win 31 games, just enough for the 5th seed. And they matched up against Shaq and Kobe and the Lakers in the first round. And the Lakers handled them easy, sweeping them in 3 games. It was the first time MJ and Hakeem had lost in the first round. It looked like the end, but they weren't going out like that. Not on a lockout year, not like this. They decided to run it back one more time. The 1999-2000 season truly felt like the last time they can actually win a ring. There's a bunch of young and upcoming talents in the league, so they have to win now. But Hakeem just can't stay on the court. He only plays 44 games, and when he does, he only puts up 10 and 6 a night. Pippen's been healthy, but he only puts up 12 a game. But MJ, he still dominates, puts up 26.5 points a game. Despite all that, they still managed to win 50 games, grabbing the 5th seed. And in round 1, the Rockets face a familiar foe, the Phoenix Suns, and they take them out in 5 games. Next up, they face the Lakers, and LA destroys them in the first 2 games. But in game 3, MJ drops 54, but they lose in double overtime. And in game 4, the Lakers officially take the crown and end the Rockets dynasty. It's clear to anybody with a brain that Houston will never get past this LA team, who go on to win their first championship. And with that, MJ retires for good. Hakeem follows, and Pippen heads to Portland. The dynasty is officially over. The Houston Rockets dynasty ends with an incredible 10 championships and a perfect 10-0 finals record for the Big Three. Michael Jordan wins 5 regular season MVPs and 6 finals MVPs, while Hakeem Olajuwon wins 4 finals MVPs. MJ racks up thousands of more career points than he did in real life, cementing his legacy as the greatest of all time, with Hakeem securing his spot as the second best. And it's poetic that their dominance truly started when they overcame the Showtime Lakers. And now years later, the torch passes as the new Lakers led by Kobe and Shaq finally do what their predecessors couldn't, end the Rockets dynasty.